Hello, everyone. Welcome to this presentation brought to you by Care for Your Health and yours truly, Yovan Diaz. Today, I'll be presenting about underage binge drinking in Washington, D.C. Now, I do want to clarify that this issue, it's not prevalent to Washington, D.C. itself. It is a practice that is observed all across country, from big, large cities to small towns and homes. And I hope that you all learned something valuable today and you're able to share it with others so we make a change. So we're going to start. All right, what is binge drinking? Binge drinking is considered one of the most common and costly patterns of excessive alcohol drinking in the United States. It is common because a lot of people from a variety of age groups are engaging in this practice, and it's costly because regardless of whether somebody is making your drinks or if you buy your own alcohol and bring it home, you're spending money on it. It is defined as consuming 5 or more drinks in an occasion for men and 4 or more drinks for women. And this is something that we must note. Who participates in binge drinking? Well, as I told you, we have underage binge drinking in Washington, D.C., which is a very, very difficult problem that we must tackle down. It's most common among people ages 18 to 34. And even though 18 are not even allowed to drink, they belong to this this group, because this practice has been observed by a lot of people. And it's an issue because people who are younger should not start drinking, especially if they're not even legal enough to drink, buy, or sell alcohol. It is also more known in men than women, as it is practiced on a weekly basis or maybe on a daily basis. The reason as to why men engages more in binge drinking is unknown. In my opinion, it could be because men can go outside while their wives take care of their children at home, and they just go out for a drink with their friends, and one drinks turn into four and four turn into seven, and they have been engaging in binge drinking. As I mentioned to you before, the age groups. Here I am showing you a graphic, a graph that I obtained from your risk behavior surveillance system from 2019. We have the x-axis, which is the percentage of people that engages in binge drinking, and we have the y-axis of age groups. The first group that we have is high school students from grades 9 to 12, which is very concerning because people in high school, students should be focusing on completing school, graduating, applying for colleges, and deciding what to do for their futures. This age group is younger than 18, so we don't really understand why they are part of this group. But we do know that some students have friends that are able to obtain alcohol for them, or they are invited to parties, or they have false identification cards. The next age group is 18 to 24. But it's still there's still a disparity in this age group because 18-year-olds are not allowed to drink alcohol, and not even the 20-year-olds. So why are they doing this? Maybe is because they want to experience that thrill of engaging in the activity and understanding what it feels like. And that's why they keep doing it. And the next age group makes more sense, ages 25 to 34, because this age group probably has finished their education and they have really good jobs and careers. And for that reason, we may have more freedom to do things. And maybe some others do not have really anything to do, and they engage in binge drinking because it appears as something exciting at the moment. Now I will show you another statistic about the age groups. Now we know the age groups that engage in binge drinking. And as you can see here on the map, we have the different prevalences of binge drinking in the country. And as you can see, the District of Columbia has a prevalence of 20.7%. This is pretty high if you really think about it, because the highest prevalence that we see in this issue is 23.5%. Washington, D.C. is such a small city that is the home for about more than 5 million people, and 20.7% of those 5 million will be about a million. So it is very concerning knowing that there's about a million people engaging in this unhealthy behavior. Why teenagers drink alcohol? Compared to adults, adolescents drinkers tend to consume higher quantities of alcohol. They have stronger bodies because they are developing. This is really unhealthy. But they dare to do more things because they haven't experienced it prior, the first time trying it, or they just really don't have a different outlook or perspective about life. Teenagers ages 12 to 20 typically consume 4 to 5 drinks per drinking episode, which is a lot as compared to an adult who is legally able to drink but do not engage in binge drinking the same way. Now I'm going to tell you about the consequences and health effects of binge drinking. As you can see, we have an arrow indicating the alcohol percentages and the different things that it does to your body, which is mostly impairments. Like you will not be able to see well, you will not be able to drive with as little as 0.5% of alcohol in your system. There's some liquors that contain about 45% alcohol, and those can be severe because you would even change the person you are and you could turn violent, and it could be life-threatening as you can lose consciousness, and there is a significant risk for everyone else around you if you drive or if you turn violent. Let me tell you a little story about a 14-year-old that died of alcohol poisoning in her own sleepover. So I will not disclose the name of this person due to respect to her family, but in the resources, you can find this story and look into it to learn more about the issue. But there's a 14-year-old who is planning on having a sleepover, and she invites other 3 friends. They are planning on just having a fun girls' night. All their parents agree on having the sleepover, and everybody was on their way to the 14-year-old home. They stay there. Her parents did not bother anybody in the sleepover because they wanted some privacy, and so her parents respected that aspect. When they went to sleep, the teenagers went about looking around in the house, and they found a bottle of vodka that was either in the cabinet or in the counter. They grabbed the vodka bottle and they grabbed some sodas, and they were mixing it and drinking. They were binge drinking. At some point, some of the friends of the 14-year-old became sick, and they started throwing up. And then somehow they found a way to just really stop the vomiting, but the 14-year-old was not vomiting. Hours later, her parents found her passed out in the bathroom floor, and when they called the paramedics, they determined that she was dead, and the reason of it could have been alcohol poisoning. This is a very sad story, and we must be conscious about it as parents and as siblings and as truly just human beings, that this is not an activity that a teenager must be doing. My best advice to you all is that I hope you learn the consequences and the bad aspects of alcohol drinking, and especially underage binge drinking. Regardless of the age, everyone should not engage in these activities as it is detrimental to the health. And if you want to learn more about it, you can access the CDC link that I'm putting on their resources. And I hope that we all bring about change and stop binge drinking today. Thank you.